Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video. So, if you watched my last one, you might have heard me say something along the lines of, I work a lot, but they also pay me a lot, so I can actually afford to buy one of the obscenely expensive copic marker sets. So I opened the website and realized that the only thing I can afford is to leave. But then I looked at the sales section, and look what I found. With a huge discount, originally sold for 50 euros. I think now I bought them for 16, something along those lines. These markers, I bought them from the official Copic website. They're the Copic Kirarina markers, but if you actually look at the package, it does not say Copic anywhere. So I feel like because they were sold this cheaply and obviously no one knows anything about them, I get the feeling that maybe these markers kind of, well, flopped. Yeah, so, but I'm wondering, did Copic know anything about it beforehand? So they didn't want to associate with it, so this is why. Okay, I'm gonna check the markers. Yeah, it does not say Copic anywhere. So maybe, I don't know, this is like an experimental thing from Copic. They were trying to branch out, maybe make like a sub-brand. Look, so this is the tip, it's flower shaped. The other side is not. They have two sides, so... Okay, they were marketed as smelling good. And they smell. They have a strong smell. Okay, so there's this broad side. There's also this... Oh, it's like a fine liner. This is good. They do smell like something. They smell very strong, but it's very chemical, so I wouldn't necessarily say it's pleasant. So let's just swatch them. Also, the caps, they do have glitter, so... Actually, I didn't do like a lot of research. I just bought them because they're a product I could afford. Okay, so they're water-based, which I read. They have a nice feel to them. I wonder why they put the glitter on the cap. So we have this orange here. We have another. One cap is brown and the other one is orange. I wonder if that's yeah, this seems to be brown. I wonder if that's a production mistake. No, it has different colors. Dark orange and brown. Interesting. Wait, yeah, I just noticed this one has different... It's very slight, but this is more reddish. This is more orangish. Yeah, and this is a different color to, this as well. I mean, that's interesting. I kind of like the concept, but I feel like this one fits more the color of this one. Okay, so I'm wondering if that's intentional or manufacturing defect. Next we have this. Oh yeah, they're all different colors. Okay, I think that's the concept. I have to be honest, I kind of like the concept. It's unusual, but I like it so far. Yeah, it's slightly different. I also really like the fine tip, it's very fine. We have another similar pink, but this one's more in the cooler direction. Ooh, that's a pretty color. I have to say the colors of these are really pretty. Although they do remind me of highlighters a little bit, and I guess that's what highlighters are, because they're just broad water-based markers as well. So these are basically like highlighters with a fine liner in them. Yeah, I forgot to show this one. This one smells like grape. This definitely seems like a product that was maybe made for children. Yeah, maybe Copic was trying to, make a product aimed towards children. Oh, this color is pretty. Yeah, that color is very pretty. Because I've seen Copic, you know, when I went on the site, it does feel like they're trying to expand their product lines a bit more. Yeah, but when I went on the site, I saw they had acrylic markers, which I don't know why, but I thought that Copic was, you know, maybe it's the alcohol markers that are just most known. But I don't know, I had the impression that Copic was trying to be like an alcohol marker brand. Very pretty. This one smells like strawberry, I think. Or I don't know, maybe it has like a very chemical note, so it's a little confusing. Ooh, this is a pretty color. I have to say, I kind of like the fact that this is a lighter color, but then the fine tip is a darker version of that color. I can definitely see myself making like fun doodles with it and just outlining it with the darker color and just filling it in with the lighter one. I definitely think that's yeah, this is our green. I think that's a good thing because that way I feel like you can do a lot more with one marker. Yeah, I feel like this would be good for a child if you know, you have a bunch of children and maybe they're a bit, I mean, you know how children can be. They don't want to share the marker, but they need two colors because, you know, it's hard to draw with just one color. So they have two different colors. The colors are very pretty. Wait, let me smell this one. Yeah, this definitely has a different smell. It smells like candy. Yeah, but my verdict is this is definitely a product geared more towards children. But I have to say it does feel very high quality. But it doesn't feel a lot like Copic. Like it feels different. Or maybe that's just also because it's such an unexpected product. I have to say, you know, the original price of 50 euros, I would not have paid that. Maybe that's partially a reason why it was kind of flopping, because this is a good product. They should have maybe worked on marketing it a bit more as like a Copic name brand. But you know, I definitely see a lot more people buying this. I just feel like, again, because I have never heard of these. I just don't think a lot of people have heard of them. Oh, this yellow is vibrant. Okay, so let's start our actual test drawing. So, as always, I'm starting with a simple pencil sketch. So far, so good. It's like always. I also decided to draw Dante, because every time I test something, you know, not every time, but most times I test something, whether it be pencils or, you know, at the Animagic actually, they had a Wacom stand, so I tested other Wacom products, which you guys know I'm using a Wacom drawing tablet, and I did draw Dante there at the convention, so you know I usually draw Dante. I decided to do a little more joyful drawing because I think the color palette is very good for something more lighthearted and joyful. I decided to test out the fine liner part of the marker because I was really curious if I could do any good line art with it, and actually it was surprisingly thin and you could actually do a lot with it. I'm honestly pretty satisfied with the, you know, the outline function. I just know a lot of really similar, you know, a lot of similar fine liners with similar tips, and they usually end up way broader. Like it's way harder to do fine lines with them. But this one's pretty easy to do line weight with and do finer lines, but also do broader lines. It felt pretty intuitive and pleasant to use. Because, you know, sometimes you do have a pretty good outline tool, but then using it just sucks. And it's just really uncomfortable and hard to do. But with this one, it you know, sometimes something just feels fun. I was trying to put my finger on how to say this the whole time, but the thing is, this marker also glides on the paper really well. Because I know sometimes, especially when they're starting to dry up, I mean some like worse ones, even when they're not drying up, they kind of get caught on the paper and stuff, and that just ruins the whole fun. Not all that pleasant. So I feel like I might actually switch to this as my outline marker. I'm not really sure yet, but I'm contemplating, because I don't know if you guys know this, but I actually somehow know the micron markers that are known for not smudging. Somehow they always smudge for me, and only for me. It's like I'm the only one having that experience. Also, as you guys see, I'm erasing like a lot, and it's not even getting much lighter. It's not smudging, it's not getting much lighter. Honestly, it's great. This is something I did not think about, with the line art being the same material as like the markers with the same ink. I was kind of like, oh, that was a stupid move, because now it's gonna smudge when I color. So I was coloring really carefully, but then I noticed that it's not smudging. The line art isn't smudging even if you color with the same type of markers. So that's really convenient. Also about the colors, I gotta say they're pretty much as expected. I kinda messed up the coloring of the skin here. I don't know, I wasn't really thinking. So I'm trying to fix it by going in with another purple. By making, you know, I was trying to make the contrast seem a little more intentional, but yeah, I kind of forgot that I don't really have a color to blend the gray with, and so it just stands out a lot. But I'm trying to fix that just by shading everything a bit more. Also, I decided to put the fact that there's a warm and a cold gray to good use, because honestly, I'm a big fan of using cold gray and warm gray, like using different types of gray, because I know some people don't really care about that. But I think it's really important to have a cold and warm gray, so that's definitely a plus in my book. Also here I'm going in with the blue and the purple again, because again I wanted to do the shadows of everything else a little bit darker. But as you guys see, I'm not really managing. Like I'm constantly having to go way deeper with the colors. But I think at the end when I start to put in more of the blue and I start to do hatching a little more, it's starting to look a lot like I know what I'm doing, and like I did not just mess up. Honestly, I have to say the blush color choice was also pretty bad, but so far, you know, the markers they're pretty great at drawing, and they work for layering, but I feel like they don't work that well for blending. So I'm not really sure they were really designed in mind for, you know, with blending in mind. I mean, yeah, but it's still, we managed to do something good with it. I'm actually pretty satisfied with this drawing, even though the start was a bit bumpy. Even though I kind of messed up a little, I think I saved it pretty well. Okay, so my verdict on these markers is that I think they're pretty good. So while drawing, I noticed they seemed way more higher quality than I initially assumed from just the swatches. I mean, just look at the line art. They were great for the line art. I think the colors are great, although I personally would have wished a bit more variety in the colors. There are some colors that I missed a little bit, but I think the inclusion of, you know, a cool gray and a warm gray is really good. And you can use some of these shades to shade each other, which is great. And honestly, I think the colors look really good. They're vibrant, saturated. The paint feels nice. They feel nice to draw with. Now, a downside. I mean, I don't really know if, you know, you think it's a downside. You can see it both ways, but they don't blend well. And I mean, the downside is you can't blend them, but you can layer them, as you've seen. Yeah, layering them is possible, but I feel like the upside of this is, because, you know, I did the outline with the same marker, and I colored it with the same markers, and there is like no bleeding, which is pretty good, so I think this would be a pretty good outline marker. I have to say the scent is a little strange, but it's okay, it's something different. Yeah, I definitely feel like, you know, if you want to buy new markers that, you know, are similar to these, I think they're great because they're pretty cheap. But if you're not necessarily looking for any new markers, or you're looking for something with more color variety, I wouldn't really get them. I'd just get the regular Copic markers, or, you know, off-brand ones. But if you like the colors of these, you know, I definitely, you know, if you like the colors And if you like them as outline pens, because they work great as outline pens, I can definitely recommend them. I think they're good. They're just not necessarily useful for everyone. Also, after a bit of thought, I'm not sure they're really good for kids, you know, first off, because of the price. Second off, I feel like children, although the colors are really nice, I feel like a lot of them would prefer more different colors and less, you know, different variations of one color, which are great for shading, but I feel like they'd prefer, like for example, they don't really have this type of red, and I feel like a lot of children, they just want the primary colors to, you know, they have a lot more, you know, needs, and there are a lot cheaper sets with more colors. Obviously the quality is less, but I feel like a lot of, especially smaller children, they're not really careful with markers, so they might break them pretty easily, and I think it's not the price range of markers that, you know, if they're broken you're like, okay, let's just buy new ones. I just don't feel like the children, they could, you know, they would know what to do with that type of quality. Another thing that I thought, I feel like these would be great for journaling again, because they have the fine liner and they have the marker, so I feel like they'd be great for journaling, because I know some people with journaling, they, you know, they like to mark stuff, and I don't know, I'm not really big into journaling myself, but I feel like for journaling this could be good, especially because they don't blend that much with each other. So I know that an annoying feature is like when you're highlighting text, the text color just bleeds into the marker, and I feel like this wouldn't happen with them. So yeah, that's my opinion. I mean, I think they're pretty good, not great. Something you can buy if you're looking for a product like this. But it's very interesting that they're so unknown. So let's just put this drawing in my sketchbook and move on.